Hey guys, Topher here. Today I'm going to be doing a washing and curing station for resin 3D printers for the broke. Basically, I have an Elegoo Mars 5 that I just got for my birthday, and I have not been in the hobby for a couple years. As you can see, my last video making like an unboxing for 3D printer type of stuff was probably 2020. So today I'm going to be showing you the kind of DIY setup I'm going to be making, and maybe you have some of this stuff already. So what we have here is everything you need to make your own resin washing and curing station, including some isopropyl alcohol. We'll talk about this a little later. This was something that another YouTuber who does a lot of resin 3D printing and just 3D printing stuff, Uncle Jesse, he linked to this in his previous video that I watched. Basically, this is a container for pickles if you ever want to just pull them out and not touch them with your bare fingers, but this works really well to put a resin print that's like fresh out into after you scrape it off. You pop it in there, you fill it up with some 99% isopropyl alcohol. I think 96 to 99 is the preferred percentage. And then basically with this little doohickey, you just basically wash it like that. Now I've taken it a step further, and I just went to like the Dollar Tree. It was like $1.25. I got this little plant holder thing, and I plan on just putting some water in it. So I'm gonna go from water to pickle jar to water to pickle jar. Basically rinse it off a good little bit, maybe brush it as well, and kind of give it a good curing. The next big part of this is going to be the actual curing station itself. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can buy a curing station, you can buy a curing box. They usually range to about $25 on Amazon, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this one. So what you're going to do is buy one of these UV lights. I got this off of Amazon. It was around 20 bucks or so. This is going to be what cures the print, and just to get like the free shipping, I also got this little like flashlight UV light. I don't want to, shine it in the eye of the camera, but you can see it's like a little purpley. So yeah, this is just for like, hey, if I notice a little liquid on the side or something. But this is the main guy you're going to use, about 20 bucks. And then basically my dad and me are into like action figures and things of that nature. He got me this little doily spinning, kind of display that it spins. I can't see it really well, but it's going. So it spins for about 10 minutes or so, and it dies, but you can plug it up to 5-volt power or just put batteries in it like I have. Basically what I plan on doing is popping my print on here and shining the UV light on it, but you don't want to do that raw because it's not really good for you. So what I saw somebody do online is take some aluminum foil, and you take a box about yay big, and what you're supposed to do is, I'm going to line the inside of this box after I close this side, of course. Line it. I'm going to cut a hole up top just big enough for that square light that I had. Basically, we're just going to take this light with a hole in it, pop it on top here, open the bottom to put this on there, and that's going to be our curing station. Now, if I'll be able to put that together, that's going to be a miracle. Basically, we're just going to pop this on here, and I'm going to try and make a hole bigger than this so I can access it more easily without knocking it over, but not so big that it cuts the tape here. I'll take my Sharpie, and basically, I'm just going to draw a circle. So I want to cut a little larger than this, so I'm probably going to try to do like from here to about there. I think that'll be big enough, maybe even a little bigger, to make it so I don't knock stuff over while I'm trying to pull it out, because I'm sure I'm going to have prints that have a little overhang as well. The crappy thing about this is I know there's another layer of cardboard in here, so I'm going to try to go a little bigger. Cool. Perfect. Okay. Now I probably should have put the aluminum foil on it on the inside already, but I feel like I wanted to have like a good bit of, I don't know, room for it, I guess. And I'm going to have to cut a square in it to it anyways. Now for the square, I'm going to try and be a little more precise, because I mean, I don't really have anything to hook this onto right now. It's just going to sit on there. So maybe cut it even a little smaller, because that's really the area anyways. So I'm gonna draw around it, but I'm gonna try and cut a bit smaller as a matter of fact. I think that'll work just fine. Yeah, so basically that's done. And it's not pretty, but you know, it works. I'll probably just sit this on top here. You can just kind of push this in, and then like this will hang off of the lip right here, like I could force it, but I think I'll just leave it like that because I want to be able to quickly like pull the light off if I have to. Next though, I'm thinking I want to have like a surface for this to sit on so it can not just be on the floor or on like a random shelf or anything. I think I'm just probably going to use my cutting mat for that maybe, or another piece of cardboard possibly. But yeah, basically it's going to just boop, 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 light on, and then you can like cure it. It cures for a little while, and then voila, all done. So now we basically have our curing station put together. The washing station is going to be fairly simple, but I'm going to let my print finish and show you guys what I'm going to do with that. Catch you soon. We have our pickle jar / agitator and our 99% isopropyl alcohol. Gonna open these up. Whew. Pop that bad boy in there. Just put that off to the side because I'm going to clean this all up later. And here we go. I don't know how much to use. I'll use a good little bit. Now you want to keep this away from open flames or from any spark sources. Now, I don't want to use too much at once, so let's just put this right here. Hope and pray that didn't get wet. I don't think it did. Cool. Now we take our print and we just plop it in there. Maybe use a little more water. I mean alcohol, my bad. Probably use a little bit more. I think that's good enough. Most prints aren't going to be much bigger than that, and when they are, you can just adjust as needed. But basically, you just take this and you just try and let it do its thing for a little bit. Now I don't know if a part of my print failed at all. I can't really tell. It looks like a part of it might have, or that might just be how it is. There's like a little bridge or a little stairs. Maybe that's supposed to be there, I can't tell. But yeah, don't go too crazy, but agitate it a little bit. Now I'm gonna leave that for a little bit. And this little guy, we're gonna fill with water to make our wash. We'll take our part out. Now the alcohol should evaporate on its own fairly shortly, but we're just gonna pop it into the water. Let that do its thing. And we're just gonna gently scrub a dub-dub. I probably don't want to be talking too much because I don't want to get anything in my mouth or on my face or skin. But you just kind of gently scrub with your toothbrush. You pop it back in the water again. I'm going to leave that for a little bit. And in the meantime, this is full of isopropyl alcohol, so I want to keep that closed and secured. Now, I'm going to close these, and the lid this is for like a lid of like moving supply stuff. I have a little closet outside I'm going to put this in to store it in the meantime. But when the time comes and I want to get rid of this water, like it's going to get murky after so many uses, you want to sit it out in the sun, ventilate it, it evaporates. But any resin will cure out in the sun too, so that's why you want to leave it out there. The water itself, you probably want to find a good place to dispose it, like put it in a bottle, do the same thing. But this should be good for a little while. Now, I'm going to take some of my other paper towels and just let it dry a bit. Now, after putting it into the water solution and scrubbing it with that toothbrush, up here is still very glossy, but everywhere else has become murky looking. I'm assuming curing will help with that, and it's cool. It's got a little DNA stripe in the center too. That's so sick. But we will find out shortly here, because apparently you just want to let this dry, like, and it's got a lot of weird parts in it, so I'm not sure how long that's going to be. Some people say for a day. I want to cure it now, just while I have everything's set up and ready to go. And I kind of just want to see what happens, to be honest with you. You can hardly see it, but there she is. So we're gonna pop this over here. Great. We're going to turn on the turntable and then see what happens. Okay, she's spinning. You can't see it, but she's spinning. Wow, it looks cool in there. Sweet. So we're gonna let that go for about 8 to 10 minutes because the turntable will stop about 8 to 10 minutes. And we'll see what happens from there. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's been about 8 to 10 minutes. The spinning has stopped. We're gonna turn that off just real quick. Didn't get warm or anything, that's good. Alright, we'll look at it, see how she fares. It definitely looks like murky now, but I'm going to flip it over or on the side. It definitely looks a little, so this is where I printed it. The top still looks really good, but this is where it looked murky. It still looks a little murky, but it looks murkier over here still. I bet you're asking yourself, I wonder what happened to Topher. How did his 3D modeling station go? Did his washing and curing resin setup make him asphyxiate and die like I thought it would? Joke's on you. I'm still here, baby. And I got some cool stuff to show you. I decided to print some cool models. The first being the rook. That looks like a rock. Hold on. Rock is the name of the file, but it looks like a rook from a chess set. Pretty cool. I printed in a transparent blue, so it turned into like a matte finish after it was shiny. There's still some shine up top here. But my little box setup, I was shooting directly down on it, so as far as I can tell, it's cured. And it's been like a day or two, and I'm still here, so we should be okay. But it's really cool. Looks like it has a lot of detail. Sorry, I'm not doing any like, crazy close-up shots. I really don't know how to do that stuff, and I don't have a lot of room. But I might soon, because one thing I don't recommend, which obviously if you did your research and you 3D printing, all that stuff is cool, it's great, whatever. If you know more than me, great, let me know in the comments. But I was basically just doing my little setup on the rug here. Not the best idea, nothing happened, but definitely feels like, man, I really need like a dedicated workspace for this. So I would surely recommend a desk, like even a cheap one on Facebook Marketplace will probably get the job done. If you can afford it, maybe a nice metal one. I don't mind my washing and curing station too much. It's fine, it gets the job done, and I'm satisfied enough with it if I had to use it. I wouldn't want to use it forever though, just because like, I feel like I want to see what a commercial one could do. Like Elegoo has Mercury V2, I think it is, for like $100, 80 on their website right now. And it washes and cures with like a larger tub. I just don't like the thought of having both of those sets of liquid just chilling because I'm in an apartment. Maybe if it was in my garage or something, if I had a house, it would be perfectly fine, I wouldn't care. But now I have to set it out on the deck and wait for it to cure because it's a little gloomy today. But I did cure the water a bit before I set it out. So we should be fine. It's just there's some, I mean, you would do this with a washing and curing station anyways, but it feels like extra steps because I don't have it all like neatly put together in one package. Having one package, if that's what you care about, will definitely save you on space. It feels like there's just a lot of moving parts with resin printing anyways. It's very messy. Even with the drip tray, I made a bit of a mess. None of the resin touched me, thankfully, and I wore glasses all the time when I was dealing with the resin. Sometimes I wasn't wearing gloves, but I washed very regularly. Probably too much, honestly. So I would definitely recommend like reusable gloves for this stuff. But I do want to show you some of the other cool stuff I cured here. So I don't know which ones I did with which. I'm gonna make an assumption on which ones I did with which. I read that doing water curing, like doing your dip in your isopropyl alcohol, then putting it in water and curing it in the water helps a lot of the time. I'm fairly certain that, well, I'm fairly certain that's what caused this. So this little guy looks like a little gear. I printed 5 of these and the results certainly varied. So you see that right there. Sorry, I can't get it super clear, but those are where the supports were on the back, so it was a little white, but a lot of them turn white on the edges. So 3 of them, along with this little skeleton man, legally nondescript, legally separate and different from the actual Lego skeleton man. His arms didn't make it. They were what I printed, what I cured separately. I think I cured his arms outside of water, and it looked better, but the arm got squished. Just really small parts. But that's not what I'm going to be talking about here. These three, I printed this little crystal guy. I had a very similar file. I think it might be the same file from a few years ago on my regular 3D printer. My, like, you know, the one that does like all the goo, or the filament 3D printer. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the difference. I like the stuff, but over time these videos will get better. Don't worry. So basically this one, this, and these two, these are the little gongji, I think they're called, game pieces from the new season of Squid Game, so I thought they were cool. The other three are too, but they don't look the same. They're all white. But these three items, whoop, they all got sat to the side while I cured the rest of this in water, and then they sat out for probably, like, I don't know, up to an hour, because I was curing for a long time. I was just like, screw it, let them cure for as long as they need to. And then these all just cured. They're not perfect. There's some spots on them, but I mean, they're as close to perfect as you can get, and they're transparent, you know, which is kind of worrying, because from what I've seen, you know, if you see something like this, it's clear, but it's like white over here, I'd be worried that the resin didn't cure, but apparently it did, so we should be fine. So yeah, my experience so far with my printer has been pretty awesome, and my washing and curing station, it worked. I'm gonna put up some prices and show you basically what I spent. So for my isopropyl alcohol, I got it from Ace Hardware. It was like $23.99, and I signed up and got like $10 off, but that was afterwards. So if you're smarter than me and you sign up now, you can probably get it for like 14 bucks. The bowl that I put my wash water in, not the actual pickle jar thing, but the wash water itself, that ended up being like $1.25 plus tax from the Dollar Tree. The toothbrush that I used to scrape, which I don't really personally recommend unless you have a bunch of supports, that was free because I already had one laying around. The box that I used for my curing station, free, I had it lying around. Aluminum foil, same thing, had it lying around, it was free. The pickle container that I got to actually put my isopropyl alcohol in and kind of agitate the prints with, that was $12 flat on Amazon. I looked into other containers while I was at the Dollar Tree, and honestly nothing else felt quite right. UV light, the actual square one that I put on top to shoot down onto the print, that was $19.99 on Amazon. The smaller UV light, the handheld flashlight UV light, that was $7.99. And the turntable that I had, I'm sure I called it something else earlier, that one I already had for my father. It's just like a little turntable for like little minis, and some people use it to scan 3D prints, other people just use it to display cool stuff. I got that from my dad for free, but I found some on Amazon. They're as low as like $10 and can go up to 20. And I think that is pretty much everything I used on my curing station. Other than that, I just pretty much just the stuff I told you is what I'm using so far. Though I do kind of want a washing and curing station and a desk now to kind of have everything in one place. I'm gonna worry about trying to get the desk first and then going from there and seeing how that feels. Just because, I don't know if you could tell, but I have it set up on like a lower plane in front of my printer, like my paper printer. And I don't really feel comfortable having that all there, even though it's great because it's next to the window. I'd rather have like a dedicated workstation on a wall or something somewhere. So I think that's gonna be the next project. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about my little setup.